Thank you for joining us to celebrate the first 100 years of the Downers Grove Sanitary District. This is Amy Underwood, General Manager of the district. Please come along with us as we take a look back at the district's history.
Hello, my name is Oscar Vila. I am a sewer construction inspector for the district. Please take a look back with me prior to 1921, before the district was formed. At a public meeting held on Saturday, June 10th in 1899, a petition to construct a sewer system in the village of Downers Grove was presented to property owners. The funds required to construct the sewer system and a future disposal plant were raised by special assessment on the benefiting property owners. The original sewer system was a combined system collecting both sanitary and storm flows. Flows collected by some portions of the system were conveyed directly to St. Joseph's Creek by gravity. Therefore, some of the early sewers were very shallow, possibly laid on top of the road. As indicated in the June 4th, 1903 article, shown here on the left, some of the existing sewer pipes at the time needed to be lowered into the ground so that the village streets could be paved. It is believed that at this time the sanitary and storm flows were separated, each into its own collection system. In 1904, the disposal plant was placed into operation. The disposal plant was located where the ball field is in present-day Gilbert Park. It contained a septic tank and an intermittent sand filter. District records show that over 47,000 feet of sanitary sewer in the village of Downers Grove dates back to 1904 and 1908. This district has only replaced approximately 2,000 feet of this pipe. The rest still remains in service today.
Hello, this is Jessie Guad, Safety Coordinator. Now, let's take a look back at the first 30 years of the district's existence.
As the population of the village of Downers Grove and the surrounding areas grew rapidly in the early 1920s, the sewer system was extended into the Westmont area. As this was beyond the jurisdiction of the village of Downers Grove, the Sanitary District was formed in 1921 under the provisions of the Sanitary District Act of 1917. Upon formation, the district acquired the sewer system and assumed operation of the village's disposal plant. This plat shows the original boundaries of the Sanitary District. The future location of the first treatment plant built by the district is also shown on the plat. It was located east of Belmont Road on St. Joseph's Creek. In October of 1921, the district received its first construction permit to build the before-mentioned treatment plant. The permit was issued by the state's Department of Public Works and Buildings. The permit was also an operating permit, requiring the plant to be under the supervision of competent and experienced persons, and that all solids and deleterious matter and injurious substances be removed before the effluent was discharged to the creek. Bids for the sewage treatment plant were opened at a Board of Trustees meeting in January 1922. The notice of award shown here indicates the plant costs $61,319.50, which would be approximately $4.4 million today. The plant was built in 1922 to replace the old Village of Downers Grove disposal plant. The new plant was designed for a population of 5,000 and a flow of 0.35 million gallons per day.
Representatives from the Downers Grove Sanitary District were present at the first annual meeting of the Illinois Association of Sanitary Districts in January 1924. The association, which is now the Illinois Association of Wastewater Agencies, promotes the mutual interests of the wastewater agencies in the state of Illinois, including advocating on their collective behalf to the legislature and regulatory agencies. Since that inaugural meeting in 1924, the district has been a highly active member of the association, having many employees who served on the executive board and as committee chairs. The district began installing sanitary sewer mains in the mid-1920s, as shown in this photo.
Sewer main installations were funded by special assessments, which needed 50% or greater of the benefited property owners to sign a petition, such as the one shown here, to install the sewer. The special assessments were paid back by the property owners over a 10-year period. Sewers completed under the district's first special assessment were installed in 1925. The district has completed 58 special assessments over the years, with the most recent in 2009. It still remains a mechanism by which a group of properties could become sewered today. By 1930, the population in the district had grown to over 10,000. The sewage treatment plant was expanded in 1931 to treat a flow of 1 million gallons per day. The plant contained Imhoff tanks, a sprinkling filter, and a final settling tank.
This aerial photo from 1939 shows the location of the first sewage treatment plant constructed by the district, just east of Belmont Road on the north edge of St. Joseph Creek. By the early 1950s, the population of the district had grown to 17,500, and it was once again determined that this plant was overloaded. At that time, the district began planning for a second wastewater treatment plant. The treatment plant at this site was used until the mid-1960s, at which time the plant was decommissioned and the site was donated to the Downers Grove Park District to become a public park.
Hi, this is Stephanie Choney, Laboratory Analyst. Let's take a look back at the district in the 1950s and 1960s. As the district continued to grow, a new treatment plant was constructed in the mid-1950s. The photo on the left shows construction of an anaerobic digester. The photo on the right shows construction of the main control building and the primary settling tanks. This aerial photo, taken in 1957, shows the plant as constructed at the district's current property on Walnut Avenue, just south of the Burlington Railroad tracks. The plant was designed to serve a population of 20,000 and treat a flow of 2 million gallons a day. In addition to primary treatment, the plant contained an activated sludge process, which provides full secondary treatment and is a much more reliable technology than the treatment processes at the district's first plant. This plant would have been designed to remove 90% of the biological oxygen demand and the total suspended solids in the wastewater prior to discharge. Rather than discharging to the creek along the south edge of the plant, a 1.7-mile-long outfall sewer was constructed that discharges directly to the east branch of the DuPage River. When bid in 1955, the plant cost $576,000 and the outfall sewer cost $276,000. These two combined would be approximately $16.1 million in today's dollars. This photo shows a bucket machine being used to clean a sewer. The district purchased this machine in 1956 for less than $1,000 from Trojan Tool Company. Today, the district owns a combination jetting and vacuum truck and a jetter truck. 1/4 of the sewer system is cleaned annually, and sections which have a history of blockages are cleaned every 3 to 6 months. The district installed several lift stations in the 1950s and 1960s, as indicated here. In lift stations, pumps are used to lift the wastewater to a higher elevation so that it can be discharged to a gravity sewer for transport to the wastewater treatment center. The Earlston lift station remains in service today. The Vennard and Liberty Park lift stations were replaced at their original sites in 2011 and 2018, respectively. The Centex lift station will be replaced this fiscal year. The district owned and operated a few other lift stations in this period that were eventually removed from service. This was accomplished by the district constructing larger diameter trunk sewer lines that allowed flow by gravity. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, the district continued to install sewers, as shown here in the photo on the left. The photo on the right is of the construction of the Grand Avenue lift station, which the district removed from service in the late 1980s. In this photo, Ben McEwen points out features of the new wastewater treatment plant during a tour. Mr. McEwen was plant superintendent from 1956 to 1962 and manager of the district from 1962 to 1974. The exact date of this photo and the purpose of the tour are unknown. We know from the Board of Trustee meeting minutes that Mr. McEwen gave a tour of the plant during a DuPage County Sanitary District officials meeting on June 1, 1960, and during a state association meeting in the fall of 1961. Just before Christmas 1961, the district broke ground at the new wastewater treatment center to add a second anaerobic digester. In addition to the 1961 digester project, two other construction projects occurred at the wastewater treatment center in the 1960s. One project expanded the plant to serve a population of 35,000 and treat a flow of 4 million gallons per day. The other project added secondary clarifiers and chlorination facilities. The chlorination facilities were installed to disinfect the effluent prior to discharge to the river. The construction of the chlorine contact tank is in the foreground of this photo. Secondary clarifiers are in the background. This chlorine contact tank was converted to a clarifier in the 1970s when a larger chlorine contact tank was constructed.
Hi, this is Brian Mang. I'm a wastewater treatment operator. I'm going to take you on a look back at the 1970s. The United States Environmental Protection Agency was created on December 2, 1970 by President Richard Nixon. The creation of the United States EPA led to new programs and regulations to protect our nation's waterways, which in turn impacted the level of treatment that the Downers Grove Sanitary District needed to provide. In addition to pending new regulations, the population of the district service area was increasing in the 1970s. In order to provide capacity for the development decisions made by local municipalities, the district planned construction of new trunk sewers and lift stations in the Lacey Creek and Prentice Creek areas of the district service area, as well as an expansion to the wastewater treatment center. 4 of the district's lift stations were constructed in the 1970s. This aerial photo taken in 1983 shows the wastewater treatment center after 2 construction projects which were completed in the 1970s. During this time period, the plant was expanded to serve a population of 80,000 and treat a dry weather flow of 9.6 million gallons per day. In addition to expanding the plant's capacity, tertiary treatment was added, which have been designed to increase the total removal of biological oxygen demand and total suspended solids through the plant from 90 to 95%. In the mid-70s, the district relocated its administration offices from downtown Downers Grove to a newly constructed administration center located on Curtis Street, where the district offices have remained. The Clean Water Act was passed in 1972. As a result, the United States EPA began issuing discharge permits to treatment plants through the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, or NPDES. The United States EPA signed the district's first NPDES permit on December 30, 1974. Eventually, United States EPA authorized the Illinois EPA to administer the program in the state of Illinois. The district continues to operate under the NDPES program. In this photo taken in 1977, district staff are cleaning solids out of the digester supernatant tank.
Hello, this is Todd Freer, Sewer System Engineering Technician. Let's look back at what the district was doing in the 1980s and the 1990s. In 1981, the Illinois EPA permitted the district's sludge management plan. The district's plan was unique for the time. Whereas other wastewater plants in the area were paying to either land apply their sludge on farm fields or landfill their sludge, the district was giving its sludge away for free to residents and landscapers for use as a soil supplement. Here on the left, district staff posed with our first pulverizer, which was purchased in 1982. This pulverizer was used to screen the sludge. The district's sludge management plan continues today under our biosolids distribution program. Biosolids may be picked up at our pickup station on Curtis Street in Downers Grove, or the district will deliver biosolids free of charge. During a 1983 tour of the district's wastewater treatment center, the DuPage County Board Chairman, the District Board of Trustees, and district staff watched treated effluent water leave the chlorine contact tank. These photos taken in the early 1980s show district staff at work. On the left, district employees are standing in a primary clarifier after replacing the chain on the mechanical sludge scraper. In the center and on the right, district staff are working on the sewer system. In the 1980s, the wastewater treatment center underwent 3 phased construction projects costing a total of $19 million, which would be approximately $55 million today. The dry weather flow capacity of the plant was increased to 11 million gallons per day to serve a population of 94,000. The expansion of the activated sludge plant was also needed to meet ammonia limits, which became effective in 1988. 2 sand filters were added to supplement the existing tertiary treatment. Throughout its history, the district has experienced significant increases in flow at its treatment plants during wet weather events, even though it has a separate sanitary sewer system, which is not connected to any stormwater inlets. This increased flow during storm events is due to inflow and infiltration, or I&I, into the sewer system. While the district had made improvements over the years to address I&I, by the 1980s the amount of flow in had increased to a point where the district's system could just not handle it. At this time, the district spent approximately $10 million to construct trunk sewers and interceptors to relieve its overloaded sanitary sewer system during storm events. This would cost approximately $28 million today. As part of the 1980s construction project shown here, an excess flow pumping station and excess flow clarifiers were added to the wastewater treatment center to treat the excess flow received. At the completion of the 1980s projects, the wastewater treatment center had the capacity to treat a total of 80 million gallons per day during excess flow events. The district has long practiced strong stewardship of public funds. All wastewater treatment center and sanitary sewer improvements constructed during the 1980s were funded with grants and district funds without the added cost of issuing bonds. Construction of the excess flow clarifiers was started in 1985. Construction began on the district's final aeration tank in 1987. This tank was needed in order to meet the ammonia limits. Construction was started in 1989 on the grit building addition and 2 additional grit removal tanks. This article, which appeared in the May 30th, 1986 edition of the Downers Grove Reporter, recognizes the district for its achievement in earning the 1986 Operation Award from the Central States Water Pollution Control Association. Over the years, the district staff, and district trustees have received more than 75 awards, including 22 gold and silver awards from the National Association of Clean Water Agencies for having minimal or no NPDES permit excursions, and 9 DuPage River Clean Water Awards from the Conservation Foundation. In 1989, the College Lift Station was installed. In 1990, the district hosted its first public open house. The open house was held annually thereafter, with the district celebrating its 30th annual open house in 2019. The open house is a great way for district customers to see how their local treatment center operates and how their money is used. It's also a unique educational opportunity for scout troops and local students. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the district's ability to host open houses. The open house was canceled in 2020 and in 2021. In lieu of holding an open house, the district will host private tours for anyone who is interested. The district does look forward to the future when the annual open houses can be held again. A few improvements were made at the wastewater treatment center in the 1990s. Additional sand filters were installed in the early 1990s. A submersible excess flow pump station was added in 1996, increasing the total treatment capacity to 110 million gallons per day during excess flow events. Construction of the sand filter building expansion is shown here. Despite previous work to address I&I in the district's collection system and additional excess flow treatment facilities being constructed in 1984 and 1996, the district's collection system and the wastewater treatment center continue to be inundated during record rainfall and flooding events. The district recognized that a different approach was needed to address this I&I and the issues it causes. The district therefore implemented its sewer flow monitoring program in 1996, its overhead sewer cost reimbursement program in 1997, and its sanitary sewer backup reimbursement program in 1998. Under the overhead sewer program, the customer's internal sanitary plumbing is upgraded to protect the house from sewage backing up into it in the event of a blockage or wet weather surcharging in the public sewer main. The overhead sewer program also targets I&I removal, as illegal storm connections such as sump pumps and downspouts must be eliminated in order to participate in the program. The district's facility planning area was last amended in 1998. The facility planning area delineates the boundaries of the district's future service area and was approved by the Illinois Environment Protection Agency through the Northeastern Illinois Planning Commission, which is now the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. Today, the district serves customers in the village of Downers Grove, part of the village of Westmont, and portions of Woodridge, Lisle, Darien, Oakbrook, and Lombard. The district has a long history of intergovernmental cooperation with each of these municipalities, as well as with the Park Districts, DuPage County, and the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County on issues of mutual concern and benefit.
Hi, this is Nick Whitefleet, lead mechanic. I'm going to share with you the district's near history. Growth in the district's service area slowed after the mid-1980s. Today, the district serves approximately 65,000 people, which is significantly less than was anticipated at the last expansion of the district's wastewater treatment center. Moving forward into the 21st century, the district's focus turned from expansion to sustainability, the best use of the district's resources, and maintaining the district's existing infrastructure. By the early 2000s, the district had collected sufficient data under its sewer flow monitoring program to identify areas of the district's collection system with substantial I&I and created a plan to reduce the I&I. Since 2001, the district has invested $9.7 million in I&I removal projects. These projects have included open cut replacement, grouting and lining of both mainline sewers and private service lines. The photo shown on the left here was taken during an open cut replacement of a main line. The map in the middle shows the level of I&I in the district's collection system. In the photo on the right, a new manhole is being set. In 2002, the district implemented its Building Sanitary Service Repair Assistance Program, also known as BSRAP. Under the program, the district will repair, rehabilitate, or replace a customer's building sanitary service. This program provides the district with a unique opportunity to remove sources of I&I from the district's collection system while repairing the customer's service line. The photo on the left shows a BSRAP repair in progress. The photo in the center shows a cleanout installed on a service lateral during a repair. Since the program's inception, over 3,600 repairs have been made, as shown in the figure on the right. The district typically spends between $600,000 and $750,000 annually on BSRAP repairs. The district's BSRAP program is one of the few programs like this in the country. The district is a founding member of the DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group, which was formed in 2005. District staff have been active in the work group from its inception, serving on the board and as committee chairs. Participation in the work group became a condition of the district's NPDES permit in 2015. The permit condition also delayed costly phosphorus limits in exchange for requiring the completion of watershed projects, which will have a greater impact towards improving aquatic life and water quality. The work group has successfully completed several projects, and others are in planning. The Springbrook Dam removal and channel restoration project is shown here in the middle photo. Starting in 2008, the district began a series of improvements at the wastewater treatment center to decrease its energy consumption. Improvements included increasing the energy efficiency of the aeration system used in wastewater treatment and installing geothermal heat pumps that utilize the treated effluent water to heat and cool buildings. In 2010, the district began accepting grease trap and high-strength waste, which greatly increased production of biogas in our digesters. The increased biogas production has allowed the district to install and operate 2 combined heat and power systems, which utilize the gas to produce electricity. The energy and sustainability improvements made over the course of a decade resulted in the district's wastewater treatment center becoming a net zero energy facility, meaning that the facility produces enough renewable energy to meet its own energy consumption. In 2016, the district was recognized as a utility of the future today by the National Association of Clean Water Agencies, the Water Environment Federation, and the Water Research Foundation. In 2020, Scarce presented the district with an Earth flag. These accomplishments recognize the district for its sustainability and energy efficiency efforts.
Thank you for joining us as we looked back over the first 100 years of the Downers Grove Sanitary District's history. We look forward to providing the highest level of quality service to our customers and the environment for the next 100 years. More information on the services and assistance programs offered by the district may be found on our website at dgsd.org.